Hello and welcome, guys. Today, I'd like to talk about Sentinel League a little bit, my first impressions of the league after the first week, and kind of give you a rundown of what I'm doing. I'd like to start off by saying I'm having an absolute blast this league. I think for me, the highlight has been the crafting. The crafting is probably the best the crafting has ever been. Uh, and I don't take that lightly because, Harvest crafting was pretty OP, but the Recombinators are just absolutely above and beyond anything that this game has ever had. And they're completely nuts. Some things that could never be created before can be created. And it adds a really interesting element to the game. And I think my second character, my reroll, will be really interesting because I'll have some sort of build that could never have been done before, but can now because of different mods and items being combined together. So what am I playing? I've been playing kind of like a bunch of fire totem setups, playing around with like different things. I'm using the Infernal Mantle, and I have blood magic, so I don't have the downside from the Infernal Mantle, which is like take spell damage when on low mana. I've been running right now. I'm running Purifying Flame, but I leveled mostly with Flame Blast. I was trying out Incinerate too. They're all really good, and this is crit, and we get a lot of defenses from and regen from the Inquisitor passives. So we get our Consecrated Ground, our life regen as energy shield regen, and then our critical strike elemental pen. All of this kind of synergizes really well together. I think totems are really good this league because the content is difficult, so you can kind of skate around the fight and not have to get in there as much. I think totems are kind of like underrated, but it's been a really fun time. In terms of my atlas and my atlas progression, I've got like most of the maps done now. I've been doing Tropical Island with like a little bit of Delirium and like fully juiced out Alvas. I went for Alva first, and the reason I did this was because I wanted to use the Recombinators, and I'll get into some of the Recombinator crafting I've been doing in a little bit, but I think this strat of just like going for crazy Atlas or Alba bases is going to be really, really strong this league. And if you can get items with multiple Alva mods on them, or an Alva mod plus like an incursion or Alva mod plus a June mod, that would be crazy too. And finally, I've been doing a lot of heisting, and heist this league is really juicy. All quality gems are really expensive. I think not a lot of people were heisting, maybe because the content was really tough at the beginning of the league. I'm not really sure why, but and yeah, I have this new node that makes it so only your favorite maps can drop, and even with only where was it? I only have like these three, and I'm still able to sustain tropical islands. So I think it's actually pretty easy to sustain one map now with this setup, as long as you've got decent pack size. Speaking of pack size, this new node, the Grand Design, where your Atlas passives, like the small ones, grant nothing, but increase pack size per notable, is really good. So I think I have like 26 or 27 notables right now. So I'm getting like almost 30, close to 30 pack size, and that's kind of helping bring in the maps and keep the map sustain going. But also, it's really good with Alva because it helps you complete your Alva incursions easier, and it gives you more chances of getting currency because any map that's not my tropical island drops as basic currency. So really good sustain. In terms of like where my currency's sitting at right now, I've got like about 32x, and a lot of this I got from making different items with the Recombinators. I've had some lucky drops too. I had an Ashes of the Stars drop at one point. I think total in the league, like this is just what I have left over after spending it on gear. I think I spent about 30 or 35x on gear. So I'd say probably this league I've had about 70x worth of items, and yeah, this is just basically just what's left over. So I'd say probably like 40x or so came from the Ashes, and then I think another, I don't know, like 20 or so came from just selling insane Recombinator items. So I'll show you just a couple of these that haven't sold, because I can't show you the ones I have because I don't have them anymore, but just some crazy things that I've had hit. So here's one. This is nuts. So I made this with a Shaper base and then a +3 helm, and I had the Insanity physical damage is extra lightning damage mod on the one helm, and then +3 in the Innervate on the other. Smashed them together and got this, which is like, this thing is insane. My second character is probably going to be a Herald of Purity build now, just because this is just so nuts. Let's see. This one's really crazy too. Again, so I think Grasping Mail is going to be like the new meta for chest crafts, because there's some really nutty Grasping Mail things that you can get. This one has the minions have chance to poison on hit, and it has some pretty decent stats on it too. So this is really good. Maybe I'll make a Poison Occultist at some point, like Poison Minion Occultist. This one is absolutely bonkers. Chaos damage taken does not bypass Energy Shield when not on low life. So this is another Grasping Mail mod. Now, I found out through like spending a lot of money on Recombinators that the way it works is you put in 2 items, and I think it 50-50s whatever the base was, and all of the links and colors on that base stay the same if that's the base that gets chosen. So for this one, I put in just a Grasping Mail with like no links on it, and then a 6-link Val Regalia with like some decent stats on it, and the Chaos damage mod did end up coming over onto the Val Regalia, and it was 6-linked, so I didn't even have to spend any time 6-linking it. So I think this is a really interesting way. It's kind of like a 50-50, flip a coin. Like, do you get a 6-link or do you not get a 6-link with your crazy mod? But obviously this item is insane because you get Chaos Res on it, you get a fat life roll, fat int roll, and like decent base energy shield at 372 with a especially with the 102 life, and Chaos damage taken does not bypass energy shield. I might end up using this at some point. I might even end up using it with this for like the Herald of Purity build. I think that these two might be like absolutely broken together. Like this one for offense and this one for defense. What's this one? Oh yeah, okay. Arctic Armor has 100% increased mana reservation efficiency. This is another Grasping Mail. This one was actually a failure. I was trying to get this on the Assassin's Garb 6-link base, but alas, it went back onto the Grasping Mail, so I did not get it. Playing around with talismans, I found out that you can use talismans in the Recombinator, which is crazy because talismans are corrupted, and usually you can't do anything with things that are corrupted. But I was able to get a bunch of like dot multi and energy shield and life mods on this, because like this base was originally the Pierce 2 targets and the Hawk, and then it had just a bunch of garbage stats. But this is crazy because, you know, it's got the Claw mod on there with crit multi, and it has a dot multi and 2 Pierce. So, you know, take your pick. You could do like some projectile poison build with this, and it would be pretty nuts. I don't know if there's anything else in here that's like so insane that I just wanted to show it off. But here's another example. Now this one's not as good, but so here's this one has a Alva life mod on it, and it has a 7% increased attributes mod on it. So that is from June, and I was able to get these on the same item by recombinating them. And again, this is a pretty crazy piece of gear. This wouldn't have been possible before. You wouldn't have been able to get that mod on there without just having crafted it. And it's a much lower craft than the way it drops on the June. So yeah, this league, I think it's really fun. I'm actually liking the difficulty increase, but I do sympathize with people in hardcore. There's sometimes some BS death happening for sure. Let's take a look here, actually. What are my deaths at right now? 58. So 58 at level 92. I feel like that's much higher than it is for me normally, especially on a totem build. Like I might just die a couple of times on the way up to 90. Maybe like, you know, just a few. So 58 that's pretty large for me. But that being said, I've been doing like mega delirious tropical islands with albas and like pumping sentinels and like just making everything as absolutely as hard and dangerous as possible so I can get more bases to throw in the Recombinator. So I haven't exactly been playing like I would if I was playing at Hardcore League. I've been kind of like six portal casual Andying it a little bit hard. But yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good summary of the league for me right now. And I think yeah, it's a lot of fun. There are some Archnemesis mods that probably could be tuned a little bit, but I think overall, after the two balance or three balance passes now that happened, I think they're actually in a pretty good state. I'm not sitting there hitting things for like 10 years, like wondering when they're gonna die. I feel like things are going down at a reasonable speed now. So I think that GGG has actually done a pretty good job coming in and listening to feedback and making changes on the fly. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And if you agree with me, leave a comment. If you disagree with me, leave a comment, and I'll try to respond to all the comments if I can. And have a great weekend, guys, and happy hunting.